Everybody, and how are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful fall, fabulous type of day today. Even though it's really probably almost 95 degrees outside. If it's not, then you're very lucky because, yeah, it's really hard to think about fall at this time of year. But you know what? We're going with it, guys. We're just going with the flow, going with the season. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, my name is Gabe. This is GabeLuvsMakeup, and I'm a 50-year makeup artist, and I've been in the industry 30 plus years. And I still am in retail, and I help customers every day, just like yourselves, help with skincare, fragrance, and their makeup needs. So today, guys, we are diving into this finally over-anticipated Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I know you probably, there's been 800 million, quadrillion, zillion reviews on this palette already. So if you're not sick of it, which I'm sure you probably are, then, you can just skip this video and, I totally get it. But I did do a poll, and I can't remember, I want to say it was like 80-90% of you wanted to see me do this palette, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'll try my best. So anyway, I was able to get a hold of one, and yeah, so we are going to be doing two looks on two different eyes. So if you're interested in it and you want to see another millionth review on this product, then stick around and let's do it together. Guys, we are ready to dive in, but first of all, I pulled out, if you guys want to know what this is, I will leave it down description box down below on some of the things that I do have on. But to give you a real quick rundown this is the Divine Rose Lip Gloss by Pat McGrath. There's not tons of things that I love by Pat McGrath, but her lip products are some of my favorites. I do love them, and I do love her lip glosses. So I have that on if you guys are wanting to know, because somebody will ask me down in the comment section. So anyway, that's what it is. And I do have on, I did my Natasha Denona. We just Natasha Denona's ourselves to death. So I did the Hygiene Skin Glass, which I absolutely love. You can actually tell that I'm getting low on mine. And the foundation, the Face Glow foundation, I think this is still on her site, but I'm not sure. But I'm in the shade 45. And I love this foundation. So I have it on now. And of course, we have our brows on. I did a little bit of an eyeshadow primer. I did a little bit of my P. Louise eyeshadow base. And but we have no concealer on. I didn't do any bronzer or blush or any of that stuff or whatever. This is going to be basically just the eye looks, guys. So at the end of the video, you'll see the total look, but I'm not going to go into the lips and the cheeks and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to go into the eyes. But before we get into eyes, I wanted to do some swatches for you guys. I was going to do that, and I was just going to compare the palette side by side of some of her other palettes, just so you can kind of see it. But this palette, I think it runs, is it 68 or 65? I can't believe it. I'll put it right. I can't believe it. Listen at me. I'm already messing up already. It's like, I will leave it down here in the little area here so you can see it, what the price is. But this is what the outside packaging looks like. It looks very beautiful. It looks very sleek. It looks very modern, like most of Natasha Denona's packaging. It feels really good. This is what the palette looks like. She is more of a shinier version. Here of late, a lot of her palettes have been a little bit more on the matte side. But these, it does kind of go with the retro and the glam. They're shiny as well. So they kind of have that same kind of feel. So it kind of fits in with some of her other neutral palettes. But let's open her up. So this is what she looks like on the inside. She's brand new. She's a virgin. We have not touched her yet. Woohoo! She's gonna be like a virgin today. Hello, hello. Look how beautiful. It looks really, really pretty. You guys can see how the shimmers look really inviting. I have to admit, this looks better in person than it does, as far as looking in pictures and stuff. I have to say it does look really beautiful in person. But while we're kind of comparing palettes, let me go ahead and pull out. So this is the Glam palette. And I'm going to put, let's just put the Nude right beside of it. Let me see if I can get it in the screen together so you guys can see it. So you can see it side by side. So this is what you can see. Definitely this has got a lot more warmer, cool browns. This has some browns in it, but this has got more warmer, cool browns in it. And then I'm also going to compare it to the Retro palette. So this is what the Retro palette looks on the outside. So the Retro palette is definitely more of a cooler toned palette. This one actually has a lot more warmth in it than it looked. I mean, in the pictures, it looked like it was going to be more of a cooler tone palette, but it looks like it's got a lot more warmth in it than it does, as far as the, what did I spill? I spilled something. Okay, guys, so sorry. My retro palette decided, Vivian decided she would, the shade Vivian decided she was going to break, and she just went like all over the place. So yeah, we had to clean that up. So that was a little bit of a hot mess. But anyway, we were not able to save Vivian very much. So she just kind of went away. But anyway, so I'm going to show you guys, this is the Glam palette. This is the Face Glam palette. This is the light one. And I'm just going to put it beside of it. See how it still has warm tones in it, but it's still a little, it's different because this is just a tad bit warmer. But they still look, I mean, you know, some of them look still, you know, not completely similar. They're different, but they still have a little bit of that same kind of color story. So it's just kind of that idea of whether you want to deal with that or not. Okay, guys, so here is what they look like. I'm also going to insert some pictures that I took a little bit closer to the window so you guys could see. Let me stand up a little bit so you guys can see them. Look how pretty they really are. The shimmers really have quite a bit of shimmer in them. This is the first top of the palette. This shade was kind of swatching a little patchy, but we'll have to see what it kind of does when we do it on the eye. But yeah, it looks really beautiful. It's like a nice mixture. It's got some warmth in it. It's got some cool in it. It's definitely got quite a bit of the shimmers. You know, some of them are extremely, they are really creamy. They feel really good. I feel like Natasha Denona, every time she comes up with a new palette, she gets better and better and better with her formulas. Like, I feel like even though a lot of people love Pat McGrath palettes, I feel like, and she gets a lot of credit for her, the way her shadows feel. It's like Natasha is really, she's really coming around. I mean, but Pat McGrath is so different from Natasha. Pat is just so much more extremely pigmented, and so is Natasha, but she does it in a more of a classier, glamorous type of way. I feel like it's just the textures and everything are just different, and the product and the quality is different. I can't describe it, but anyway, they look really beautiful, and I can't wait to really play with this. What we are going to do with this, guys, I have no idea. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to go in and just start playing and just see what we come up with. Anyway, let's dive into this and see what we come up with. So I think what we're going to do is on this eye here, I think we're going to do more of these kind of like brown tones, these cool brown tones. And then on the other eye, I want to do something maybe more along the line with some of these warmer peachier shades, kind of like. So cool, peachy, whatever. I don't even know what you want to even call them, but we're going to go with that. So let me go in with the shade. So this is, let's start off with the shade Mesh. And Mesh is like, she's just a very muted neutral brown. And we're just kind of going to go in and just kind of, I'm going to blow this up to where you guys can see it a little bit better too. I'm just going to go in and really start to build it. That's really pretty. These her cream mattes, they do very well with just going in and really blending very softly. And I'm just going to go in and kind of really, I don't know if we're going to, I guess it's going to probably end up doing a little bit more of a smokier look probably on this side. But it'll be very interesting to see what it's going to all turn out to be. So just go in backwards and forward. Now with the same brush, and by the way, this is the Refer 14 brush. I'm going to do the same brush, and we're going to go into the shade Stone. And Stone is just a little bit more, she's just a little bit more intense than the one we just used. So we're going to go in and just intensify that just a little bit more to create that really beautiful soft matte. Because we'll probably go in with the a little bit more of the shimmer a little bit later. But this is looking really pretty. That looks really beautiful. That would be a really beautiful, just on its own, would be a really beautiful everyday kind of a look. So if you guys are looking, this is definitely going to be a palette for somebody that wants a very neutral, everyday type look. I will say she got a lot of shimmer in it. So if you're not a big shimmer person or someone that does not like metallics or any of those, I don't think you're going to like this palette as much. But if you don't mind a hint of them, or if you don't mind using them or using them wisely, I think you may really enjoy it so far, but so far what I'm experiencing. But yeah, that's looking really pretty. So now let's go into, let's do Tender. So Tender is a step up from the other two that we did. So we're basically doing like a 1, 2, 3. So I'm basically doing like a 1, and then we did a 2 up here, and then now we're going back to Tender here, and she's a number 3. So we're just kind of intensifying this brown up, or this cool brown up even more so. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So that is really nice. That's just a really nice soft look. And we're gonna smooth that just a tad. And then what I might end up doing is now this right here, if you wanted to, you could take a little bit of shimmer and just add a little bit right here in the inner corner, or maybe just a little bit on the lid there. Do some mascara and some liner and call it a day, and not do any more. But you know what? That's not how we roll here on Gabe Loves Makeup. You know, we love to just go with the flow. So we're gonna be adding more to this. You know, we got to do a little bit of I got to do a smoky eye on this side. I know it's going to look a little weird probably, but on versus the other side, but I really want to create a really beautiful, soft kind of a smoke look on this eye. But that looks really pretty. So I'm going to take my Alexis Vogel, my Smokey. This is my, if you guys have not seen my video, this is the Alexis Vogel Shadow Shaper. I'm going to take a little bit of it because I've actually been like using this lately. So I'm going to take it right where it says Smokey and put it right there, right here. And then I'm going to go into the shade, this is the shade Silhouette. And she's like more of that deep chocolate. She's the one that didn't look as, it looked a little bit more patchy. And we're going to go out here and deepen this up a little bit more with the same brush. So far I've used the same brush. I haven't even switched brushes yet. So far so good. We're using the same brush. I'm going to go in there and kind of really just kind of smooth that out a little bit more. So that looks really pretty. And we're going to go in with liner and everything too, and really deepen that up. By the way, I did have I did top line my eye a little bit with like a little bit of a chocolate liner, and just try to keep it really neutral with liner. And I did do a little bit of mascara before we started. But yeah, that's where we're kind of getting at. That looks really nice. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of shimmer. So I'm going to take a little bit of the shade. This is the shade Delilah. And I'm going to take Delilah, and we're going to place Delilah right here all across the lid. Delilah is really beautiful. She's very, very creamy, and she's got a really beautiful shift to her. I don't know if you guys can see the shift in it, but it looks really super beautiful. It's like this really beautiful taupey brown. It's just gorgeous. That is so, so pretty. So after we do liner and stuff, I think what we're going to use the shade Mia, and she's a little bit more of a pink. So I think that'll give it a little offshift to the Mia will do here in the inner corner. But this is really, Delilah is a very beautiful color. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's take just a tad bit of Ella. And Ella, she's a little bit more, she's more metallic. She's not as soft. I'm going to place her just out here, just a little bit more out there, just to give it a little bit more warmth there. But that is really pretty. That's a really beautiful look. Just even if you wanted to not even go out like this and didn't want to really bring it out, you know, but we're kind of doing a little bit of a smoky look. I'm gonna do it with the liner, and then we're gonna go back underneath and kind of do all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna just do some liner on the top and underneath, and I'll be right back. So I used a little bit of the my Lancome. This is I picked up the brush instead of the pencil. This is the Lancome French Chocolate. This is the Drama Matte, the liquid liners. They're like a drama liquid liner, but it's a pencil, and they're so good. But I did that it's in French Chocolate. I did that a little bit, or I think it was a Cafe Noir, or is it French Chocolate. And I just did it like over here and in here. So now what I'm going to do is take my Refer brush. This is the 29. It's a very skinny little brush. And I'm just going to go into Tender. And I'm just going to set this over top of the French Chocolate and kind of connect it together. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of Silhouette and She with that dark brown. And by the way, the Silhouette blended better than swatched. So Silhouette is blending a lot better for me than it did swatching. Swatching, it looked like it was going to be kind of patchy. But when you put it on, it actually blends pretty good. Now, let's take a little bit of the shade Fair. I'm going to take Fair with a really fluffy brush. And Fair is like the lightest one in the compact. I'm just going to take a little bit of it, but she is a matte, and I'm kind of go up underneath my brow and just kind of like softly just kind of smooth that out a little bit more and just kind of blend it in. So I'll kind of blend in. It looks a little bit more seamless. And it looks really pretty. That's a really pretty shade. I'm glad that she put a light shade in here, because sometimes in some of the other palettes, you just need that one little light shade to help bring everything together. And this is exactly what this palette kind of needed to bring it all together. Okay guys, so I just added a little bit of my Armani mascara, and I actually added a little bit of a lash. I added the Ardell Naked Lashes in 422. I did a little of a lash. I trimmed it a little bit and just did a little bit on the outer corner. But yeah, this is what it looks like with the liner, and I'm really liking this shade Silhouette a lot. I used it a little bit more over the liner that I used. I just used a little bit more over it to intensify it a little bit. We added concealer. I did use my Natasha Denona High Glam concealer. I did use that up underneath just to kind of clean it up a little bit. And yeah, it looks really beautiful. So now to finish out this look, I'm going to take my Refer brush. This is number 13, and I'm going to tap it into Mia. And Mia is she looks like a baby. It's like a baby ballerina pink shimmer in it. And we're going to go in, and I'm going to add just a little bit right here in the inner corner, and we're going to kind of blend her in with the others. Just a little bit in here just to give that really, she's pretty shimmery. I mean, she's definitely like that very intense kind of high shine. I'm going to add a little bit more right here and just blend it into there, just to really make that really stand out. It's such a beautiful color. It's got a really pretty shift to it too. So it kind of blends in with the brown so it doesn't look too pink. But look how beautiful that is and how it brightened that up. Wow. That is really pretty. I like this color. This color is gorgeous. All of the shimmers are just gorgeous. I mean, because I took a little bit of Delilah and I mixed her with just a little bit of Sheen. I mixed these two together and just added a tad bit more over what we did just a while ago. And it just looks, that just looks gorgeous. And it was easy. It was really effortless. This was like a very easy smoky eye. It wasn't hard at all. It was they blended really easy. There was no hard work to it whatsoever. So yeah, so this is look one. So we got look one. So now let's do look two on this side. Okay, guys, we're ready to dive into the second one. So we're going to be doing the warmer shades. Some of these warmer shades, we're going to be working with them on this side. So that way it'll give us a different look. We may end up using Silhouette. I'm thinking we may just to kind of blend it together, but you'll still get like two different kind of looks. And again, remember, some of these you don't have to go as far as I'm going with them. You can just do like, you know, one or two, and that's all you need. Just kind of what I was stating in the first look. But let's go into Wit. So Wit is this light peachy shade here. So let's go into Wit first. And let's just go, oops, sorry, wrong mirror, Miss Piggy. I have to use Miss Piggy. We're trying to use Miss Piggy. One of you guys were like, they missed Miss Piggy, so I thought I would bring Miss Piggy back out again. So we're gonna go in with Wit here, and we're just gonna blend. These are just, I mean, they're just like effortless. Like, you ain't got to do nothing to them. They just blend right in. And I will, you know, and just letting you guys know, I just got a Natasha Denona affiliate code. So you can save 15% if you use GabeLuvs, and I have a code down below. You just click on the link if you're interested in anything in Natasha Denona. But just letting you know that just because I have an affiliate link with Natasha Denona does not mean that I'm going to push Natasha Denona on you guys. I mean, if I feel like it's not worth your time or your money, I'm definitely going to just state my honest opinion about it. But the reason why I wanted to become an affiliate with her is because I really love, love, love her shadows. And I'm not saying that again because now getting a little bit of a small commission off of the product. I just want to let you guys know that I really do love her shadows. Her shadows are just so easy to use. They're just easy to blend. They're easy to work with. They're not complicated. See, that's one shade. You could do that and go. You know, if you don't want a lot. But you know, like I said earlier, we're going to continue. We're not going to quit. So we're going to go into the next shade is Vague. We're going to go into that. And Vague, she is a little bit more of a brown, where Wit had a little bit more peach. But they're both like warm colors. I'm really shocked that this palette is more warmer. It looks more warmer than I thought it was going to be. But it's kind of that. It's kind of the weirdest, it's like a cool, neutral, brown, warm, I don't know, palette. It's just all in all, it's just a really pretty, so far it's really pretty. It's just a really nice, neutral palette, regardless of whether you like cool or you like warms. But that's really pretty too, just like that. That's gorgeous. I mean, it just, the more you add, the prettier it looks. You know what I'm saying? It just looks really, really nice. And I'm kind of using the same brushes. I clean my brushes, by the way. I use some brush cleaner and just clean them up so we could use the similar brushes. But yeah, that's a really beautiful color. It's going on really good and blending in really nicely. So now I think I'm going to go in just to intensify this one up just a little bit more. We're going to go back into Stone. So I'm going to go back into Stone again. So Stone was like this kind of a color, and she's at the top of the palette. So I'm going to go in and just warm that up just a tad bit more. Just right through there. Just to give a little bit more warmth there and just to intensify my crease a little bit more. Yeah, that's so pretty. That's just so pretty. They blend in together. Regardless of what you want to create, it just blends in so well together. It just looks so good together. So now, because we did a little bit more of the dramatic on this this one side, I've got to just try to balance it out a little bit more. So I'm going to take a little bit more. I'm going to do my, we're going to go back in here and do the same thing again. And just kind of line that up a little bit more right through here. And we're going to go back in with Silhouette again. Oh, sorry. With Silhouette again, and we're just going to go in and just kind of add a little bit right in here. Like, isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. You know what? I got to tell you, this Natasha Denona foundation, it just blows me away every time I wear it. When I first put it on, sometimes I'm like, it doesn't look all that good, but then after it sets on for a little bit, it just looks so pretty. And I'm not powder or anything yet, but I just love the way it makes my skin look. But yeah, look at, that's just that's so pretty right there. So we're going to go back in with the same pencil. So I'm going to do the same French chocolate with this one. I'm going to do a similar scenario around the eye area. Again, if you wanted to make this more natural, you could just do a little on the top or just a little bit right here. Or if you're more of a bottom person and don't like doing it on the top, you could just do that with mascara. Because I'm kind of balancing this out and I want it to look really good, I'm going to use we're going to do the pencil. But before we do the pencil though, let's go ahead and do the shimmers before I do that. So this time, let's do the shade Muse. So let's do Muse. So Muse looks like this. So let me take Muse and put Muse right here, right through there. Ooh, that's beautiful. How pretty Muse is. That is really pretty. Wow. Oh, wow. That looks prettier on. And it's got a little bit more of a gold shift, which I like. That is really pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Glam palette, the light one I was telling you about. It has one in there like this too. It's a little bit like that, but it looks a little similar to that. So now let me go into the sheen, which I actually used a little bit on the other eye too. And I'm going to go in and add sheen right here. And sheen is just going to give that little bit of that extra glow. Because sheen is she's got that glowish look to her. And it's so creamy. Oh my God, it feels very pretty. Look how pretty that is. That's really pretty. That's really beautiful. So let me go up camera. I'm going to do the liner on this side, and then I will come back and we will finish. I'll probably go and do the lashes too on this side just to save time, and then come back and then we will do the inner corner together. And there you go. So this is what we're almost finished. But I went ahead and I did my a little bit of my Huda Beauty, my terracotta lip liner. I did that with this gorgeous lipstick by Lancome. I decided to pull out some of my Lancome lipsticks because I have so many of them. But this one is called One Last Call. And you'll laugh at me, but when I'm at work, I call it the One Last Stand night. It's a one night stand is what I call it. I always forget the name of it. But anyway, it's 444. But it's this really beautiful mauve pinky purple. And I thought with the neutral lip liner, it would look really good. And I put the Alexis Vogel, this is the Bee Stung lip gloss over top of it. It's like this really shiny, not Bee Stung, I'm sorry. It's Sandcastle, I believe. Sandcastle. I am so sorry. Sandcastle over it. And it just looks so beautiful. Look how pretty that is. Oh, that's such a beautiful lip. Oh, so pretty. And on my cheek, I just did my L'Oreal bronzer. I did it, and I did the highlight and the highlight and the blush out of this palette. I took it out of the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude in the light. I just did that as the highlight and a little bit more of this pop on the cheeks. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. So now we are ready to finish up the actual eye look. So I'm just going to go back in with my Refer. This is my number 15 brush. And we're almost finished with that. I'm going to go into that shade Fair again. I'm just going to go into Fair. And I'm just going to go up underneath the brow and just kind of soften her up a little bit. Just to add a little bit more right there, just to give it that soft look. This is a really pretty shade. This really pretty matte shade is really gorgeous. And it just really just finishes off the look. It just really smooths it out and it just makes it look really good. So now let me take a little bit of my, this is the number 26 brush. I'm gonna take a little bit of it and we're gonna tap her back into Sheen. And I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Sheen. And we're gonna take Sheen and bring her down in here. Just a little bit more right in there. Just to add a little more and connect it to the liner. And there we go. So what do you guys think? This is a beautiful palette. I mean, this, guys, this is pretty. It was, the Yucca palette was easy to blend too. It was super easy to blend. I feel like every time I get a palette with Natasha, I feel like it gets better and better. It's like, it's easier to blend. It's easier to do. The looks are super easy. I mean, like this look, even though I did 2 looks, I mean, typically with a look like this for me would normally take me almost 2 hours to do in between filming and with the lips and everything. This probably just doing the eyes, if I did just both eyes on this one, it probably would have took me no more than maybe 20 minutes to do. I mean, I did both of these in less than an hour. And that's with everything. So, I mean, if for filming, that's a lot. I mean, I know for most people, that's like, well, that's a lot. But, you know, when you're filming, it takes a lot of time to do this and edit it and all that good stuff. So, anyway, with that said, you can do so many different really nice looks with this palette. I mean, I got to give it a thumbs up, guys. I think this is a really good palette. And again, please, if you know, I'm not saying it just because now I'm an affiliate, because I've always loved Natasha. Obviously, I've got like the majority of her palettes, and I just love them. I think they're great. This one was just so easy to use. It's like, again, you can do a few different looks with it. You can create really beautiful looks. It is a really, believe it or not, I didn't think it was going to be much of a fall palette because I was thinking of the Dream palette. And I felt like she was a little bit more of a fall palette as well as the retro. I was not thinking that this was going to be a kind of a fallish look, but I don't know, guys. I'm getting a little bit of a fall vibe. I don't know if it's because I got the leaves behind me or what, but I am getting a little bit of a fall vibe with this. But you can create so much with this and create what you like and make it simple or make it more complex. I hope they're giving you guys some tips just using, like, you know, 2 shadows and a mascara or whatever. You could do. This, again, is not an everyday look. But I just wanted to take it there. I wanted to see how much I could come up with it. The only thing I would say about this palette that I don't like is I wish it had another dark color in here, and I wish it was a little bit more of a, maybe a little bit more of a plum, like a plum brown. I wish she would have had that in here just to add in here. I feel like maybe one of these, like maybe Filigree, it's so close to Ella. I feel like maybe one of those could have been more of another darker shade to give you another option for a darker shade. But, you know, but all the light, and maybe like one that was just a little bit more pink then one of these, maybe just a little, something with a little bit more pink in it, with a little bit more of a pinky brown undertone. I felt like that would have been cool, like maybe one of these from this one. I don't want to open it up because that would show. But you can see where I had to like back in there. But maybe something that was just a little bit more, just to give a little bit more depth, a bit more of a matte, but just to give a little bit more depth, kind of like Vivian, a little bit like Vivian. But I get it because you can get that in one of her other palettes. So if you have her palettes, you can definitely do that. You know, but I have to say, and Glam is one of my favorites as far as her palettes go. And I really love this one too, the Glam. I love this one. But this is a really nice palette, guys. So anyway, we'll leave everything down in my description box down below. You know, again, my code is GabeLuvs if you want to save 15% off your purchase. If you want to go over to Natasha Denona, if you spend, I think it's over $50, they do not charge you for shipping and handling, as well as some of the concealers and the foundation and all that good stuff. I will leave that down below too as well. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. You know, please subscribe. If you have not, we would love for you to join our little family here at GabeLuvsMakeup. Because when I say we, I mean you, because you guys are my channel. And, you know, it's not just me. You guys are the ones that make the channel. I mean, we love to chit chat down below with each other. I mean, we're just like a little family here. So we would love to have you. Again, if you did not like this video, then, you know, I don't know. Nude you. Somebody got a kick out of my last video when I said to bury on you or something like that. I don't remember what I said, but they got a kick out of that. But anyway, so you guys take care, be safe, be strong, be proud, stand tall, love yourself. Remember to tell somebody that you love them today, and remember to be kind to someone, because kindness can go off a long way too. And yeah, I mean, you know, I am looking forward to seeing you guys in the next episode where we'll be reviewing the new Ghost Town palette by Nomad, which is another really beautiful palette. Can't wait to dive into that. So anyway, take care of yourselves, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and we will see you again in the next episode. Bye.